Hi everyone. So today we are going to start the remaining part of the chapter Glimpses of the Past. In this chapter, we'll go with the oppression and other parts. Fifth part, we'll go with the fifth part. Okay. So before wasting the time, let's go to the lesson. Are ready to learn? Okay, very good. So we are going to the next part. Okay. Then now let's start with the fifth point, that is oppression. It was there 1765 to 1835. So we are checking this, what is that, the glimpses of the past, that we are checking. So in that fifth one, oppression, the reasons behind the first revolt of independence, 1857, in 1857. So that only we are checking. So the oppression, how the oppression started, we can check it. But the British continued to oppress Indians. Oppress means using the power over somebody or that authority. In 1888, in 1818, they had passed Regulation 3rd, a new law, Regulation 3rd. What is that? Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. So, what is the new act started there? In this act, Regulation 3rd, in this act, it was what is a passed in 1818. Under that rule, Indians an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court, without examining, without testing in the court, without taking to the court, directly put into the jail. That was the rule. That means if the police think that this person has done a mistake, then no need to take him to the court. Directly he can keep that Indian to, if that person is Indian, keep into the jail. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. The officers, the British officers who worked in India, they are getting, drew here means getting high salary, and they are getting good money in the business also. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. So in 1829, around 1829, British exported goods to India. How much cost it was? Around 7 crores. So Governor General Benedict reported back home that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. What does it mean? The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. It's very important statement. It means that the cotton weavers of India are dying due to starvation. How do they get starvation? That is, they are unable to sell their cloth as the British had started the cloth mills which produced cheaper cloth. So people started to buy that, and this led to the end of cotton weavers in India. Because of the British, the cotton weavers are dying in India. That he recorded as Governor General Benedict reported that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. It means the in India the cotton weavers are dying because nobody is buying their clothes because it's very huge cost, and the Britishers are selling it very in a low cost. So look there, the British proposed on the companies loot while Indian industries began to die. So look at that one, the same. You have to read it both together. They started looting, taking away, so that it is stopped. So now go to the sixth part, that is dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction means, what is dissatisfaction? It is unhappiness. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. We should teach the natives through the English language. I agree. So earlier, the education system, the language of teaching is Sanskrit and Persian, but an Englishman named Macaulay. Macaulay said that we should teach Indians, natives, the people those are living in a particular country. So teach them in English. So they agree that one. English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. Low salaried job, petty jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. Intellectuals means educated people. So British started teaching them English so that they got jobs also. That people get a clerk jobs, very low salaried job. We must educate our brothers. That people, those who educated, they started thinking about that. They said we must educate our brothers and try to improve their material condition, their living conditions. For that, we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. So, what's my grievances? Grievances is complaint. So, we should complain them. We should say our sadness to them that you are our what's the material condition of our people are very low. So, we should complain about that to the British Parliament also. So, the education system which they introduced, that is educating the people through English, made a big change in India. A lot of job opportunities, that is clerk jobs came there, but even though that is not a good salaried jobs, very petty salary they got. But they got a good intellectual man. Many people educated from that system. So look at this map. What is there? By 1856, the British had conquered the whole of India. Look at that pink colored part. That pink colored part completely conquered by British in British. So British people are living there. That yellow colored part is that Indian natives or the Indian kings are living. So look there. They cared little about the needs of Indians. The Britishers cared very little about the need of Indians. Our kings have become puppets and we have lost our old jobs. Puppets means the dolls, that is having the controlled by any other member. Dolls cannot do anything oneself, so it can be controlled by others. And lands. So we lost our jobs and we lost our lands, and they are converting our brothers. Somebody says that Britishers are converting the caste, converting to them. The Britishers converted to them. You only talk, do something to drive them away. So you only talk in there, but you should do something to send them away. So we can check that the Sparks in 1855 to 57, 2 years. The fire which started against them, we can check there. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. In Bengal, the Sandals means a tribal group, who had lost their lands under new land rule, became desperate. Desperate means unhappy. Hopeless. Desperate, hopeless. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Massacred means killed in mass. So, what happened there? So, in 1855, a peasant group, peasant means farmers or working group, so they lost their lands because of the new rule by the British. So, what they have done from the Bengal, okay, the Sandals of the Bengals, as a tribal group, Sandals, they started rebellion, started fighting against them and killed a lot of people. That British people were killed. Discontent means unhappiness, was brewing in the East India Company's army too. So it started to grow in the British army also. Look there, the white soldier gets a huge pay, mansions to live in, servants. The Indian soldiers, those who are working in British army, they also started thinking about that. They said the British soldiers are getting huge amount, huge salary. They're getting big mansions, bungalows to live in. They have servants also. While we get a pittance. Pittance means very low. And slow promotions. We are not getting good amount of money and we are getting slow promotion also. The Angrez is a Hindi word. Angrez means British people, Englishmen. Ask us to cross the sea which is against our religion. Who is the Topiwala to abolish our age-old customs. That is Topiwala means that British people, those are wearing the caps. So he's saying they are asking us to cross the river. That is against our custom, against our religion. We should not cross the river. If we cross the river, we will lose our religion. We must drive out the Angres. We must send them away. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. Adjutant means a lower ranking officer. So Mangal Pandey is a Sepoy, that means a native soldier. So he attacked this his own regiment and he was executed. That means he was killed. Thousands of other sepoys, other soldiers revolted, started fighting against British. They were stripped off their uniform. Stripped off means removed. They removed their uniform and they started fighting against them. Humiliated and put in irons. That means lost their self-respect and they started wearing the arms. That means armors, or they are using the weapons. Few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or the people's mind. Some in British people started to think about that the custom of India. So somebody said that one, oh proud Brahmin soldier, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? So they said to, hey proud Brahmin, do you know that the grease which is using on the bullet, while before that you should bite on that bullet fat is the cows and pigs fat is using on that for the grease. The Brahmin saying what? The Muslim saying that one, the white man has deceived us too. Deceived means cheated. So you know that one, cow is a sacred animal for the Brahmin and it's a Muslims doesn't like the animal pigs, that we know that. So but they are using that fats, so it is become a shock for the Indians. They is cheating us. Soon chapatis were sent from village to village to tell the people that their emperor would want their services. Chapatis. So chapati here means chapati. Through chapati the message sent. So what happened there, from village to village chapati was sent to village. Inside the chapati they kept some message. What is the message? Their king wanted their service. That means they are going to fight against the British. Yes, all my village men will be ready. They said yes, our men will be ready. So the same way the lotus flowers started to look there. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers. Same way how the chapatis were sent in between the village, like that inside the British Indian army was there. That means Indian soldiers are there. Among them, the lotus flowers circulated. They distributed the lotus flower. Death to the foreigner. The masses gave all help and shelter to the patriot. Patriot means the people, those who are loving their own country. So here, the same way, what happened there? They started fighting against the British rule. That was happened there. That part, that means the sending the chapatis and sending lotus flowers, the through messages are written in that, and they are sending these things, chapatis from village to village and lotus flowers in between the soldiers in that. Okay, so that was sent to aware them that we are going to struggle, that is start fighting against British people, to inform the all Indian people that we are starting the fight against British. That's why they sent a message through that. So many people supported the party. That means many people support those who are fighting against the British people. Now we can stop it here, and remaining two parts are there. That one we can start in the next class. So I hope you understood this part. If you have any doubts, you must have drop your doubts in my WhatsApp number. Okay, we are winding up our class here now. Thank you. Take care. Bye.